Good evening and welcome to DBN News. I am Kishford Frank with your major news story for today. One of the very unfortunate yet very common thing for many Bible-believing Christians is that many build not just doctrines but even their entire lives on misunderstanding and misapplying events and messages found in the scriptures. In our story this evening, we unravel the plain facts surrounding the notion that many people, even Christians, claim today, that the Bible teaches that just about anything on the earth created by God can be used for food, that it is all blessed by God, and nothing is to be called unclean. Now, this is largely taken from an encounter with a vision that many people up to this day have not taken the time to review properly. For this story, we've been privileged to have right here on DBN the two key men directly involved with the encounter with God that generated this misunderstanding on the subject. The vision that gave rise to the famous tagline, "Rise, Peter, kill and eat." Don't go anywhere, you have to see this. But first, make sure and hit the subscribe button on your screen to get all our videos as they are posted. We will love for you to interact with us by leaving a comment down below. And please, do share this video with a friend or a loved one who you think can benefit from this. Okay, here with us this evening to share their stories, ladies and gentlemen, we have Peter and Cornelius. Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to the DBN. Glad that you could be on our newscast this evening. Now, let's get right into things. Peter, let's begin with you. Not because your vision is first, it's actually second. But let's start with you because you had the vision that has become very popular. Both the church and the unchurched have heard of your vision at some point in time. So, this was a vision that you had. Tell us of the vision itself. What did you see in the vision?
I was in the city of Joppa, praying. And in a trance, I saw a vision. A certain vessel descended, as it had been a great sheet, let down from heaven by four corners, upon the which, when I had fastened mine eyes, I considered and saw four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things and fowls of the air. And I heard a voice, saying unto me, Arise, Peter, slay and eat. But I said, Not so, Lord, for nothing common or unclean hath at any time entered into my mouth.
So clearly from your response, Peter, it was known historically to be true that there are clean and unclean foods. More than that, you walked with Jesus in person and would have first-hand knowledge from Jesus of such a reality of clean and unclean foods. So, what happened next?
But the voice answered me again from heaven. What God hath cleansed, that call not thou common. This was done 3 times. And all were drawn up again into heaven. With the voice.
Now, hold on, Peter. Let's stick a pin right here. You see, this is all that most people know about your vision. But just before you continue, I want to bring in Cornelius here now. Now, Cornelius, as I said earlier, Peter's part of the encounter has become very popular, and yours almost never really spoken of. Yet yours is the piece of the puzzle that affirms Peter's vision, because he was unclear and confused about his own vision. And that says something, because imagine Peter's vision by itself is not clear, even to Peter. But people think they know it better than Peter to make a doctrine based on an unclear vision. So Cornelius, your vision is so important because it helped not only Peter, but it clears up the misunderstanding that many people, even entire churches, have held all these years. So God met with Peter in vision, but the day before that, God met with you and shared some stuff with you. Tell us what happened.
I was fasting, and at the 9th hour I prayed in my house. And behold, a man stood before me in a bright clothing, and said, Cornelius, thy prayer is heard, and thine alms are had in remembrance in the sight of God. Send therefore to Joppa and call hither Simon, whose surname is Peter. He is lodged in the house of one Simon, a tanner by the seaside, who, when cometh, shall speak to thee. Immediately, therefore, I said,
Whoa. Whoa. So, you have this vision to send for this guy named Peter. You obey the voice of God and send out 3 of your men on this mission. Now, this was masterfully orchestrated by God, because Peter, while you are having this vision, 3 men who do not know you are on their way from Caesarea to meet with you in Joppa. And by the time your vision ends, the men are knocking on the front door, asking for you by name. Oh man, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. So what happened? Did you get any directives in the vision to connect it with these 3 guys?
Immediately there were 3 men already come unto the house where I was sent from Caesarea unto me. And the Spirit bade me go with them, nothing doubting. Moreover, these 6 brethren accompanied me, and we entered into the man's house.
And that man's house you entered is Cornelius here. I love this. Isn't God wonderful? Who, by the way, since he, Cornelius, is not a Jew, then traditionally he is unclean and you cannot go to his house, you cannot keep his company, nor be in association with him, which your brethren in Jerusalem chastised you for when you got back. Well, that's of course until the big revelation. The big revelation indeed. And this is where the visions meet, and we get the meaning of your vision, Peter. Because before, you, a Jew, would not be seen with Cornelius. Am I right?
It is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation. But God has showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean.
Say what?
God has showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean.
What a revelation. And this is the central focus and message of the visions. The point God was about to make was so huge that he did not leave it to chance for a man to question or for a church to decide. He did this supernatural thing of speaking to two strangers in two separate places and then bring them together. So, Peter, you spoke with the Gentile brethren about the good news of Jesus Christ, and you witnessed their experience in having the Holy Spirit. I am guessing at that point you realized even more fully what the vision meant, and that not even you could resist what God was doing at this point. I understand you gentlemen have a clip of the baptism to show us. Let's pull that up now. Wow. Gentiles receiving the Holy Spirit, accepting Jesus, and getting baptized. Just powerful indeed. Powerful, powerful. Now, I hope that those of you watching are getting this, folks. I do hope. Let's get this clear, that the vision and the statement to arise, Peter, kill, and eat has absolutely nothing to do with food. Let me say that again. Arise, Peter, kill, and eat has nothing to do with food and eating, literally. Do not call anything common or unclean refers to the Gentile people who the Jews considered to be common and unclean. There were actually not just one, but two visions given to two different men at that time, as told by Peter and Cornelius. The vision reveals God's opening of the gospel to the Gentile people of the world. This is such a big story here that has gotten lost in the crowd of misunderstanding. Now, just remember that until this time it was accepted that salvation is of the Jews. How could you have something so historic, so far-reaching as salvation and the gospel being opened to the entire world of people not born Jewish, and you miss this by talking about eating anything you want? Come on! Get out of here! This is huge, people. This was supposed to be a vision we celebrate with a holiday and eat some good, clean, healthy foods on that day. What do you say? And it is right there in plain sight. Just continue reading. Just continue reading on. A few verses more and you get it. A few verses. You can go check this story out for yourself and prove what we are sharing here in the book of Acts, chapters 10 and 11. It's right there. Follow it up after viewing this and confirm this news for yourself. Peter, Cornelius, thank you so much for being here and for sharing with us to clear up this whole thing to our viewers. Thank you so much. So now you know. Peter, kill and eat, call nothing common or unclean, has absolutely nothing to do with food, but about people. Jesus opening the way of the gospel to all peoples of the world beyond Jews. And that is good news for you and for me. Says that we are adopted into the family of God and the household of faith. Do enjoy that experience. That's our story for DBN this evening. I am Kishford Frank saying good night and God bless.